back to Wigscape, Amy and Kathleen. So many people want to either save their hair when they're going through treatment and use it for something else down the line, which if your hair is in good condition and hasn't been highlighted or frosted in the last year, you can definitely do that. Why I say that is if you've highlighted or dyed your hair up and raised it a bunch of times, when we try to make a wig with that hair, it will break as I put it through the hole. So try to keep your hair as healthy as possible. And if you are going to think about using your own hair, we're going to give you some tips in how correctly to take your hair off your head if you don't have a stylist doing it. Most stylists already know how to do this, but here are a few tips. And at Created Hair, we do this all the time because we specialize in cancer hair loss and cancer wigs and chemotherapy and radiation. So this is a very common thing. Here are the things you're going to need. Magic marker, several Ziploc bags, and you want them where you can actually write on them. And you want little rubber bands. Now sometimes I like using two different colors, but for today we're just going to use black and a clip. Those are the 5 things you're going to need aside from a comb, okay? If you're going to be making a wig with your own hair, it's not only a wig. You may want to make a topper afterwards. You may want to just use them to make bangs with something later on. But I want you to have the freedom, plus it's really great to use your own hair if you have the ability to do so, okay? The main thing is not to cut off too much hair at one time. If you have long hair, you'll probably end up with at least 20 small ponytails. If you're going to be making a wig, specifically a wig, what we're going to do is we're going to cut, you want to cut, this is an old wig, girl, this, we're using an old one. So you're going to cut the front, mark bang. You're going to do the sides, this and down, which Kathleen's going to show you, and your bag will say sides, the same with back. This way, when you give the hair to your designer or your wig maker, and they send it to the factory, with the photo and the style that you want, they'll already have the hair set up in the way you had it for them to make it. Okay, so this is super simple. Okay, what do we do first?
Okay, so now what you want to do is make sure that when you are doing this, that you haven't been through chemo for a few times because your hair will dry out.
That's true. You want to do it, you know, usually you lose your hair about the 17th day, but it can be sooner. So I kind of like being prepared, have your wig prepared and everything before you're going to do this. But sometimes you don't have that much time. Sometimes it releases sooner than you thought. So let's show you how to do it.
Okay, so now you want to just part it, like if you have your hair parted in the middle, and if it just makes it easier for you, because most of the time people are not good with just trying to do everything on top. So we want the left side all the way down. When you're marking everything down, we're going to go top, left, front, side.
Now remember, when the factory is going to be making your hair, they need 2 inches to sew the top. And that's for a flat look. If you want monotop, which gives you a lot more height, they're going to need 5 inches more. But you still want to only cut it as low to the scalp as possible. However, what you're going to do first is you're first going to take a rubber band. After you've sectioned the hair, you're going to take a rubber band. Actually, I think it should be like that. Yeah. So let's show them about that much, okay? And you're going to put the rubber band, bring it all the way about 2 inches from the scalp.
1, 2. And the good way to measure that is when you do with your fingers. I always find that like 3 fingers are pretty much 2 inches. Literally.
Okay, cool. So you see we have it like this. Now, I also like to take a different color rubber band and put it at the end. Not the same color.
Not the same color.
We just ran out, so sorry about that. We're going to use black for right now. The main thing you want to do is, the reason why you're marking the bottom is because when you give it to the designer that's going to be making your hair at the factory, they need to know what's the top and what's the bottom so the hair is going in the same direction. If you do not, your entire piece is going to be tangled, it's going to mat up, and you will not be able to wear your wig. It's going to be a waste of money.
Cuticles always have to go in the same direction because if the hair is opposite, they grab and they lock together, and that's what we call matting, and it does not come apart.
Nope. Okay, so here you go. So we want to cut as close to the scalp as possible. All right, so you're going to go all the way down.
You want to leave enough hair here so that way it does not release from the rubber band.
And I usually will take it and just bring it down. So there's your 2 inches for the factory, and there's the bottom. Perfect. And you're going to do this all the way around. I would then take a bag. You're going to put all your sides.
Marked left side top.
Right, and then the right side will be right side, top, the bangs will be bangs, the back will be back, and you just keep on doing this all the way around. So let's do the next one.
Okay, so now this is at the left side bottom.
And you want to take
Let's take a little bit.
about
Yeah,
that much. Like enough to fit about this much hair. Once again, Kath is doing it about 2 inches from the scalp.
See, take my fingers, all right there. So it gives me enough to cut as close to the scalp without actually hurting yourself and leaving enough for the rubber band not to lose the hair.
Now, if you don't have 2 rubber bands, that's fine. At least mark the top where you're taking it. At least the rubber band there will at least hold the hair in place.
And please make it as tight as possible because if you do not, you'll lose hair.
So now we're going to go really close to the scalp. Hold on. Okay, once again, you want to hold it from the top. Make sure this is down. Okay? That's all you have to do. Again, preparation is the key to peace of mind when it comes to any type of therapy you're going through or removal of hair. I know it's super emotional. I have been there. Believe me, I have been there. And I wish that when I had my hair that I'd actually saved it. But my hair released very quickly. So if you have the opportunity to save your hair, trust me, I know most of you are like, oh no, I don't want to do it. Save your hair, girl, because later on, even if you just put sideburns in a wig, or maybe you're losing hair in one of your wigs and you can actually have it put in with your own hair, you will love that. Okay, so I hope this helped. Is there anything else you want to mention?
And just buzz cut, use a number 2, so that way you're not going too close to your scalp, so you won't look crazy after you cut your hair off. You'll just have a nice buzz cut. Have your boyfriend or your husband do it.
Loved
Make
loved one. Don't do this until you have another wig to put on. If you're okay walking around without, then you do what you gotta do, girl. That's your own heart, okay? But most of the time, we at least wanna have a wig ready. So before you do this, make sure you have something else to pop on.
Right away.
That makes you rock, okay?
It really helps emotionally to have that wig ready. So when you cut your hair off to save it for the next piece, you're not gonna be traumatized. You'll actually be empowered, so that you know that you can still look like yourself with or without hair.
How much do I love you? That's so sweet, but it's so, yeah, it's so true. But I mean, honestly, I didn't even mention that, but it's really important because as long as we can be ourselves and look in the mirror and we can go, oh yeah, that's me. Kind of makes you feel like the woman you've always been, gives you a lot of confidence. Go out there and rock it.
Okay, so I really enjoyed this segment to be able to help you women to be empowered. And if you have any questions or want to drop us a line, just email us at hello@wigscape.com.
I love when you do the lashes. The lashes. Bye.
Bye.